All right, everybody, it's Mr. J, and this is your academic chemistry matter review for your test tomorrow. Here we go. So I'm going to label all these things, give you all the right answers, and I'm going to ship it out to you. Here we are. So classify as either an element or a compound. Well, potassium is an element. And I'm going to start writing the word element in the form of an E and a compound like carbon monoxide with a C. Okay? That's how it's going to go. So, potassium is an element, carbon monoxide, CO2 is a compound. Sodium chloride, which is salt, is going to be a compound. Nitrogen, that's an element. Oxygen, that's an element. Even though you see two of those, N's there and the O's, that's a subscript 2. That just means there's two of them there, and so there is an element there. It's called a diatomic element. Anyway, number 6, glucose. That's a compound. There we are. 6 carbons, 12 hydrogens, combined with 8 oxygens. That is a compound. All right, section 2, classify each of the following as either a physical change or a chemical change. Well, we've got water freezing. Water freezing doesn't change what substance it is. That happens to be a physical change. I'm going to put that P for a physical change. Okay, make that a P. Chemical change will make that a C. Salt dissolving in water. The salt is just dissolved in the water. We didn't change what it was. That's a physical change. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Number 9. Oops, let's get that down there. Number 9. An iron rod melting. Well, you didn't change what it was. All you did is change what state it's in. It's melting. You didn't change what it was, so that's going to be physical. Magnesium igniting after being in a Bunsen burner flame. You did this in your lab. A chemical change did happen. We have ice melting. That's just frozen water, solid water, and we're melting that to liquid water. That's a physical change, right? And then lastly, bubbles forming after placing zinc and hydrochloric acid. You did that, and so you saw bubbles happening, something new was formed, and therefore we have a chemical change. Section 3, classify each as either a homogeneous mixture or heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture, we're going to label with an HO. Heterogeneous with an HE, okay? So, we have brass, which is a blend of copper and zinc. You have a brass instrument. Simply, we have a homogeneous mixture. There is no difference. If you look at a brass instrument, you do not see the differences at all. That's going to be homogeneous. Air is also homogeneous. Hydrogen peroxide solution is going to be homogeneous. Chicken noodle soup is going to be heterogeneous. Chex Mix is heterogeneous. Trail Mix is heterogeneous. Okay. Number 19, or 28 of these, the density of an element. We're talking about properties now, or chemical properties, physical properties, chemical change or physical change. We have a density of an element. Well, that happens to be a physical property. Okay. Burning paper is a chemical change. It is something different than it was before. Number 21. Volume of water in a graduated cylinder is a physical property. Conductivity in copper wire, that is a physical property again. The mass of a bar of gold, that is a physical property. Okay. Formation of a precipitate, that is a chemical change. You had two chemicals mixing and you formed something new. That's a chemical change. And the reactivity of potassium, reactivity is a chemical property. Okay? There you are. So now we're dealing with intensive or extensive. Extensive properties deal with properties that depend on the amount of matter. So extensive properties being something like length, mass, volume, like that. And so, number 26, which property would be used to identify an unknown substance? That would be an intensive property. And, oops, let me do that. Let me get that out of there and erase that. It looks too messy. Intensive properties do not depend on the amount of matter present. And the best example of that would be density. Okay. And then, two more. States of matter. If a substance in a container is compressed, to compress something means to squeeze it easily. What is its most likely state of matter? That would be a gas. Okay, remember in a gas, particles are far apart. Okay. Out of these four, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, what always represents a physical change? Gas forming, boiling, color change, or formation of a precipitate. Always, for us, here, it will be boiling. Therefore, there are your answers to the review. Make sure you bring a pencil tomorrow, and good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.